Leave it. No. Leave it. No.
Man, you know, when I saw this clip, it bothered me. I saw the video yesterday. Somebody sent it to me, and it really bothered me. You know, I felt like making this video to kind of just explain a little bit about why that's not only inappropriate, but it's also ineffective. So let's first start out by saying that there's two different specific responses that your dog has. Okay, they have an unconditioned response, and then there's a possibility for a conditioned response. Meaning, you could take a dog who started off not reactive, and because of, you know, mismanagement, experience, these types of things, they could learn to be reactive as a result of those things. Okay, so that would be a conditioned response, something the dog learned. Then you have the unconditioned responses, like Rosie here. It's very unconditioned for her. In other words, I didn't teach her to have such a gnarly prey drive, to chase and want to destroy small prey. That's just in her, that's just who she is. And I believe that in terms of reactivity, you have those same two possibilities. Some dogs are just fucking reactive, and other dogs learn to be reactive. Okay, so with that in mind, I think about those two things when it comes to looking to, you know, counter condition, you know, a specific behavior that I don't find to be very convenient, such as hyperreactivity. And I'm a relationship focused guy, right? So my main focus is on relationship. I want to strengthen the relationship in a healthy way. And when you lay on such a significant correction like that, something that I have always deemed to be unfair, ineffective, inappropriate, and just downright fuck, dude. When you look at that, you're like, God, that is not how I want my dog to learn. And you could ask any of my clients if they have ever seen me or heard me ask them to put a correction on. Say, because the dog was already flooded with stimulation. If a dog is flooded to that specific degree, sorry, bro, you're going to have to start over and try again, and you're going to want to create some distance and some space from the trigger. Okay, because we talked about these unconditioned responses, right? That is ingrained. That is the most difficult thing for your dog to come off of. It's possible, but what we do, if we're thinking in terms of doing it fairly and appropriately, is we, number one, we understand the amount of repetitions that it's. This is a drug. Okay, this isn't going away anytime soon. It may not ever go away. And so the way that I see specific situations, like that German Shepherd has a long road ahead of them, learning or unlearning to go from 0 to 100 so quickly in that proximity, that close. And so if I'm thinking that it's a drug to this dog, and I'm looking to counter condition this behavior of reactivity, I'm going to 100% work threshold. It's called threshold. He was over threshold. He was not in a position to learn. And some people will say, oh, well, Chad, after he fucking slammed him 6 times and made him yelp and physically hurt him, the dog stopped. That's called a false positive. That isn't effective counter conditioning. I would guarantee you that he's done that many times before, and you're still getting the same response from the dog. So what does that tell you? That shit doesn't work. That's not counter conditioning. That's a false positive in the moment. It may seem like that worked, but there's nothing counter conditioned about that dog at all. Next time he sees a dog, the same shit's gonna happen, and he's gonna. So there's no effective counter conditioning happening. If you want somebody to get off drugs, you're going to want to get them to stop doing them so much. And the only way to help a dog this reactive unlearn that habit is by working under threshold from the distance and limiting the amount of times that they have that explosion. Attaching a different, more positive association to seeing a dog under threshold, okay? Over and over and over, creating a new habit, okay? Not laying on that. I use tools, man, and that's another thing that bothered me. I use prong collars, I use e-collars. I would never in my life use it like that, ever. I never have, I never will. A lot of people do, and they get a false positive, they get a result. But in my mind, there is a massive difference between a dog fearing me and a dog respecting me as their leader. This is my best friend. I would never, ever, ever, ever lay a correction on her like that because I know there's a better way. And I wanted to share that with you guys this morning. It doesn't have to be like that. That guy was... Sorry, my storage was full. I had to clear some space to continue this video. That guy, what I was saying is that guy was full of anger and frustration, and that's just proof that he's been struggling with this. And it's almost likely that he's seen a trainer. It really is, and that's the sad part about this. This dude has probably been taught to do this to this dog like it was going to actually do something. Guy probably paid a lot of money to learn that strategy. Not over here. And like I was saying, difference between a dog fearing me and respecting me and loving me and understanding what to do because I actually effectively taught them, okay, in a way that suggests that I love dogs. Like, that's your advice to somebody? Hey, dude, I want you to fuck them up when they do this. Really? You want me to fuck her up with high-level correction for wanting to go chase prey? She was born this way. Are you sure there's not a better, more efficient, more fair and effective way to do things? Oh no, this is just how I do it. Run away from those people, man. Run away from that shit. It doesn't come from a place of empathy and understanding and tolerance. And these are all the things that I like to teach with personally. And I'm not saying choose me. I'm just saying maybe don't choose them. Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, people out there making people use tools. That's why tools are so demonized. That right there is why tools are so demonized. And I understand the reasoning for the demonization. Okay, I get it. And so that's why as somebody who I would consider myself to be extremely ethical, an ethically user of the tools. And you can ask literally any of my clients, any of them. I would never put them through something so horrifying as to watch my dog get lit up with extraordinarily high levels of e-collar and like, people are vulnerable, dude. Like, they're there to get help, and so when they see somebody who's supposed to know what they're doing light their dog up, half of them are going to be mortified and never say anything. And the other half are going to be like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. And they're going to start doing that shit. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's what I got on this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Listen, I don't want you guys to think that I'm the trainer that like nitpicks other people's style and shit and like, oh, I do it this way, you shouldn't do it that way. The only time I will ever talk about another person's training style is if I feel like it's actually hurting a dog. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Because honestly, I don't give a fuck what other trainers are doing. I'm too focused on what I'm doing. Unless I'm like admiring them or learning from them, give a fuck what you do, bro. I have zero interest in being the guy that wants to look right. You know? I don't have that egotistical side of me like most trainers do. Because I'm not a dog trainer. I'm an athlete. I'm that right there. I just train dogs for a living. So I don't have that. I'm just not one of these dog training dorks. Okay? Dog training dorks. That's what you get, dude. Bunch of fucking geeks that make dog training the nucleus of their identity. Like, I know, so it infects them with like main character syndrome, and it's like if they feel attacked if their strategy is questioned and shit. Like, dude, you're a fucking geek, you know? Love you guys. Like and subscribe. Share this with your friends, dude. I'm telling you, ring the bell for notifications for future videos. I feel like this was a really good one, and it felt good to get this off my chest so you guys know where I stand on that shit.